is looking for the lead, and he's got Terry Labonte to help him push the car ahead, and I believe that's what's going to happen. They come through the tri-oval. Schrader is to the inside in the red number 25. Shepard, the white and blue car, to the outside, and as they cross the line, it is Morgan Shepard who has the lead. He can thank Terry Labonte there for assisting him in that move. Labonte is on the outside. Schrader now to the inside, however, is going to hold on, it appears, to that second spot. Davey Allison is behind him. Now Allison will move high into the outside draft.
If Allison gets in, then Schrader's hung out to dry. He's going back to 6th.
I believe that's what's going to happen. Everybody is in the outside draft with the exception of Ken Schrader, but that Lumina hangs right in there, maintaining 4th spot. Now moving alongside of Davey Allison in 3rd. And I believe Schrader is going to have 3rd position as they come out of the corner. If he can get back up in line, he can't do it. So great racing is continuing. Again, we'll be watching this all during the afternoon. We hope you'll stay with us for all of the Winston 500 here at Talladega Superspeedway. Winston 500 NASCAR race from Talladega, Alabama, live here on ESPN on a beautiful spring afternoon. And the leader is Davey Allison. After 116 laps of this race, he has just passed Terry Labonte to go into the lead. Labonte running second. Bill Elliott is also right there, along with Morgan Shepard and Mark Martin. There are 6 cars that are in the lead draft, and there they are.
Well, we had 4 cars, Fords that started up front. Now we have 4 Fords that are running the first 4 positions.
And I should say there are 7 cars in the lead draft as Ken Schrader dropped behind just a little bit, but now has caught back up once again. We have seen a tremendous amount of passing in this race, not necessarily because of horsepower, because of the restrictor plate, but boy, I tell you, drafting is really providing some great passing and great dicing for the lead. Now, Mark Martin runs there in 4th position. Let's go down to Jerry Punch for a comment on Mark.
Well, gentlemen, the crew can't figure out what the problem is. The car set on the pole here was so fast all week long in practice and qualifying, but today...
Trouble coming off of turn 2. A car has spun coming off of turn 2. We see the leaders coming into turn 4, but one car did spin around coming off of turn 2. He's down on the inside, down on the grass.
Yellow flag comes out. Harold Kinder is waving the yellow flag, and here come the leaders. We'll see who crosses the line first. It's going to be Davey Allison. Labonte will follow in 2nd position. Bill Elliott trying to catch 3rd. I don't know whether he did or not. He and Mark Martin crossed virtually the same time. There's Dale Earnhardt coming in for a pit stop. And the car that spun off of turn number 2 is Dick Trickle once again for the 2nd time. Let's go to Jackaroo.
Well, the crew goes to work on Dale Earnhardt's car on the right side tires. The gas going in as well. And they're trying to make the change here. Kirk Shelmerdine doing the work on the right front. They are going to go for 4 tires all the way around. A breathing room here under caution. He ducked on a pit road very quickly. Chocolate Myers completing the refueling action here on the Mr. Goodwrench Lumina. They drop the jack, and he is off and away, the first of the leaders to pit.
Now, these cars that we're seeing pit right now were a little ways behind that 6 cars that we saw running up front, and they got the caution early enough when they came off turn 4 that they could come into the pits. The others were already past pit road, the end of pit road, before they got the caution, those running up front.
Now here's a Dick Trickle spin. He's to the inside. Watch him slide sideways coming off of 2.
Looks like the back end just got loose on him as he came around with the other cars, spun down to the inside of the racetrack. The back end just lifted up on him, it looked like. Now we'll see everybody else come into the pits as they come off of turn 4.
They are lined up, waiting to come in for their pit stops. Allison, Labonte, Elliott, Mark Martin, Ken Schrader. Here they come. Pit road becomes the busiest place in this part of Alabama.
How'd you like to run that gas station, Bob? Tell you what, you got a captive audience.
Of course, if you had that many workers out there, well, you know, that can work this fast, it might not be too bad.
Let's go down to Jerry Punch, who's in Bill Elliott's pit.
Well, the Mellick Ford getting service. He is down and away. Right side tires on the roll. Close call, and the car comes down pit road. Fred Eklund, everyone scampering back. Put them out in the grass margin. And Darrell Waltrip is in. Jackaroo is there.
And Darrell Waltrip is making continuous chassis adjustments on his car, as well as checking on the right front area of the car. Looks like they may have a problem possibly with the spring. As you know, it's tough to see on the right side. They're jacking a lot of wedge down in that area. They've completed the work, and now Eddie Dickerson is putting the tire back on, and Jeff Hammond is dropping the jack. But there very long stop for Waltrip, but he's literally been out of the hunt since the early going. So they're going to have to make some major adjustments here and then bring him back out onto the racetrack.
Well, Jack, the reason they made the adjustment on the right front that time, that is the strongest spring on the car. When you make an adjustment there, it has more effect than anywhere else on the race car. And so while they had that tire off during the caution period, they said this is when we're going to make that major adjustment.
Caution period number 3 on Talladega Superspeedway at the moment. Dick Trickle, he is the reason for the caution flag. And once again, we see that the windshield has come out of that race car. We'll be back after this. A bit of a breather here at Talladega as the yellow flag is out once again. Dr. Jerry Punch is down in the pit of Dick Trickle, who has brought out our 3rd caution period of the day like he did our 2nd. Jerry?
It's getting to be a habit for Dick Trickle. 2 tire changes and a windshield. He again had to come back in. They had a lot of sheet metal damage on the right front of the car, and apparently that sheet metal was rubbing a tire. They came in. He thought he smelled some rubber burning in the car, radioed in, but before he could get back to pit road, he had cut another right front tire and spun the car. But they have changed the windshield and changed the tires and beat some sheet metal back out, so he will be here a while. We'll be back on the track momentarily. Rob?
All right, Dick Trickle ran so well in the early going, but has experienced some problems. Now we're going to replay it again, and we'll see if we can observe the windshield popping out of the car. That's Trickle to the inside. Watch the car get sideways.
All at once, it just goes around. The back end picks up on the car, and there you see the windshield pop out and fly up in the air.
Now we go to the in-car camera, Rusty Wallace's, and ahead will be Dick Trickle. Again, we'll see if we can watch see if we can see the windshield pop out. Yes! Oh, very evident on Rusty Wallace's in-car camera.
And he's watching his old buddy Trickle going sliding through the grass.
Couple of ASA veterans. Now here is the crew cam, Eddie Dickerson, as he is making an adjustment there on the right front of the car.
Yeah, he's turning down on that screw, the adjustment there on the right front spring. That is spreading weight to the left rear of the car. That's what they call tightening it up.
This was earlier. Dickerson making the tire change on the Darrell Waltrip car, and on lap number 121 we go back to racing. The leader is Rusty Wallace. 2nd place Kyle Petty. 3rd is Dale Earnhardt. 4th Phil Parsons, and 5th is Rick Wilson. So the standings have definitely been scrambled here because of these pit stops. And there's the bumper cam from Rusty Wallace's car looking back on 2nd place Kyle Petty. And we have a spin in turn number 4. Ron Esau has spun and dropped to the infield, and that happened in turn number 4 as the rest of the field was in turn number 1 and 2.
And the yellow is coming out, and there's some cars like Ricky Rudd that wants to get his lap back. Let's see if he can race back to the flag and do it.
This is the first real race back to the caution that we have had. At least some drivers trying to get their laps back. And Ricky Rudd is trying desperately to hold that inside line and get it back, but I don't believe he's going to do it.
No, don't think he will, no.
Neither he nor Craig Sachs can get the lap back.
You notice every time they have a caution flag, you notice the common thing, Rusty Wallace ends up leading the race. Why is that?
That's a good pit crew.
Well, while we have an opportunity and while the caution flag is out once again, we will get rid of as many commercial breaks as we possibly can. There's Ron Esau, who has spun in turn number 4. Back with more after these messages.